Hello everyone, my name is Lorthorn and welcome to this mod showcase for The Occult in Minecraft version 1.20.1, Java edition and for Forge. This is the Alpha 3 version of the mod, so it's a little bit different than your standard edition. The Occult is a sort of demon occult, just add a little bit here and there to the game. It currently adds 4 structures and 4 enemies. First structure we're looking at is this little hut here. Oops, got little demonic eyes on it. You can wake them up, turn on the light, who's there, and you can check out the inside. It's pretty simple. We got a bed, we got some paintings, nice little shack to hang out with a few night lights you can turn on. Mod also comes with a book. Now this guidebook doesn't play well with JEI, and it's not complete. So, we won't be needing that. That's our first structure, simple hut. Our next structure, a little bit more complicated, a little bit different looking. Got the Shady house. That's where we're off to next. Right there. I was hiding from us for a second. This is a nice little house. It's got more of these lanterns. It's a bit more of a house this time too. Again, we got our bed, nice open doorway, and we got a treasure chest. And it's got all sorts of fun things in it, like a smithing template, ink balls, shadowy fragments, you know, bewitching orbs, all that good stuff. Further in, got some sort of table set up, a nice little fireplace, and yet more paintings. We go back out again, we can see there's a creepy mouth looking at us through the window. And there's also a hidden treasure chest up here. So if you break your way on in, you'll be able to find some cobwebs, a few paintings, a few bricks here and there, and a treasure chest with some shade blocks and a few music discs added by the mod. And over there we have another weird occult building. That is our jump puzzle. This structure I find greatly amusing, that it's a naturally spawning jump puzzle. You go inside, we've got a loom here for making very cool looking flags. We got a treasure chest with some bewitching stuff and some shade fabric. Another light, and a smithing table, which we'll be using later. Also happen to have a little jumping puzzle here. Test your skill out on the jumping puzzle. See how good you are at that. So, we'll proceed. A little new block to land on there. It's a bit odd, the direction that's like, you know what? Let's just add a jumping puzzle. Why not just a jumping puzzle to Overworld? It's odd, but it's fun. And if you happen to find the jumping puzzle a little too hard, well, the game is played in survival, not adventure mode, so it can be subverted with a nerd pull. Ooh, what's this? That might be one of the new enemies. Hello, there he is. There's the Occultor, hopping on his little feet and vibrating his head at us. Excellent. They do spawn. Very good. I am so pleased to know that they spawn. There's also the big jumping puzzle. This one's a little bit more complicated. It's the tower. Got another one of our lights. I do like these lights, how you can turn them half on and full on. And this one's nasty. It's got a floor covered in spikes. We should clean that up so we don't get hurt. Now, this puzzle, a little bit sneaky, a little bit tricky. But we can get up there, we can get to the first set of treasure, worthless book, and some fragments and items. And if we happen to go outside here and jump to here and then jump to here, then we can jump to here and we can jump up to here and we can do the second jumping puzzle, which you have to be inside to do. Again, let's break these spikes. Could get hurt, don't you know? And we've got a extra little jumping puzzle here. Now, I hate jumping puzzles that bonk your head. I actually hate jumping puzzles in general. But we can make our way up through this jumping puzzle and we get to this level. And we got all sorts of lights and flags up here. We just make our way gradually up here to these new blocks, these new structures. And we'll get to the final treasure chest with all sorts of treasure at. Very exciting. So, Let's take a look at this treasure now. I do find it strange that we have this weird dark demon, occult, almost Cthulhu-esque aesthetic, and then jumping puzzles, but who can fathom the minds of demons, eh? So maybe that's a part of the story. I do whenever I come across a mod that doesn't have a story yet. I like to think of what the story could possibly be. In this case, it's a rather interesting story. Some sort of weird ancient jumping puzzles, occult, guarding certain things. Aha. Now then, here we have something new. We've got the bed bug. So if we attempt to sleep, and there's no light sources about at nighttime, a bed bug will come out. And he's this horrible little guy here. Now, the bed bug doesn't fight us or anything, but he does leave a mess absolutely everywhere. And he lets out those little clicking vibrations. And those attract other monsters to the area. So the whole idea behind the bedbug is to punish you for sleeping without a light source nearby, and I think that's a really cool feature, actually. I think to look at the other monsters, we're going to put on some gear of appropriate power level for about early mid-game of Minecraft. Most important piece of armor costs you a lot of diamonds. Diamond sword, maybe you'd have an iron, but let's say we have the diamond. Other iron gear. A shield, of course. I think that's pretty fair and pretty decent gear to have. We've got the enemies. Well, I saw the bedbug, so we'll put him away for now. But we've also got the seeping and the others. So we'll start with the seeping. Looking at design, he has this interesting thing he does with this mod, which is you can notice that the eye is inset slightly. So you actually get the illusion that it's looking at you. Another one does this much better, but you can get the idea that it's doing it. So the seeping here, it's got a little bobby walk. He has a bit of trouble with the grass here, sort of walking in place. We'll let his AI now go to work. He is aggressive. He runs fast. And I like his little hoppy run. He's got a good run animation. Definitely doggedly chases you. Doesn't have too much health, but has enough health to be dangerous. But you can fend him off pretty well. We'll summon again, and you see how he pops up? Like his spawn animation, that's a good spawn animation. You can use a shield against him, his attack speed isn't that high. And his damage is fairly decent against this set of armor. His AI does have some troubles, but overall, it's a pretty good start. Now, the occult lore also rises out of the ground. He's got an interesting little Eye of Sauron going on there. He also has this quick little walk, and he's got sort of like an axolotl thing going on there, but he's a bit like the Warden. I like these sort of Warden-esque above-ground Demos enemies. He has less health, and deals slightly less damage. And his walk is fast, I like it. Now one of them, when I was playing with version 2, which was a lot smaller, the enemies would actually bob while they ran at you, and made them really hard to hit. These guys aren't so bad to hit. Like, his freak out is pretty good. And oh my goodness, he drops a lot. And then finally we have the Looming, which is the highest HP one, and he's got this eye. Right, look at that eye. See this here. So it's inset enough, so no matter what angle you are, he's looking at you, which is really cool, and it's just all optical illusion, which I think is great. Now his eye is also actually appears to be moving in there a little bit, but it still has the optical illusion beyond that. So that's a fun mix, that his eye moves, but also moves and has the optical illusion, so you can feel like he's always looking at you. The Looming is the strongest, the fastest, but he's also the biggest, so he's easiest to hit. His head's a little bit taller than his hitbox, but that's fine. Nice blue line coming out of the body, double sight line. Occult lore, quite a bit taller than his hitbox. You can't hit the occult lore's head. Might want to increase the height on that, even though keeping that lower there. Seeping, it's got a very good hitbox. Happy with that. And Bedbug's hitbox is pretty small inside the center of its body. Could go with a longer pig hitbox, but it's also okay because he's meant to be annoying and hard to hit. So I'm okay with the Bedbug's hitbox being so grossly small. Let's look back at this looming here. Again, great coming out of the ground animation. Runs you down. You can do the classic shovel forward and backwards. AI is having a bit of trouble here. Deals pretty good damage considering our armor. Alright against the shields. Okay, damage animation. Good walk. His death animation, a little bit strange, but that's fine. So, these monsters drop a lot of different parts when you kill them, and these are all usable for various different purposes. Let's look at a few of the things we can use them for. So, to begin with, you can take the Twisted Fiber and combine it with a Watchstone, which can be found here and there inside the towers, and that will give you some Shadow Fiber. You can also find Shadow Fiber in the puzzle rooms and houses, as well as dropping from the monsters. Shadow Fiber plus Messy Fur Clumps plus Dark Threads can be turned into the Gloom Hood. Plus 3 armor, gives you a kind of funny looking hat, and when you press G while wearing it, you let out little clicky noises, and it attracts all creatures in the local area to you, and its cooldown is determined by the worn out status effect. Milk does not clear this, but we should be able to attract everyone nearby again. Good for farming. The next item, a little bit different, requires Twisted Fiber, some of these ink balls, and Shadow Fiber, and this will give us the Bloated Arm, which is basically a sword, about the same damage as a wooden sword. But the big difference with this thing is it's very long ranged. So we can attack the horse from all the way over here. Normal hand can start hitting about there, or we can start hitting about there. And so for breaking grass, you can also do that a bit further than you can do it normally. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't have all that many enchantments. You can basically give it Unbreaking and Mending and Curse of Vanishing. I think it'd be nice if you could give it like some unique enchantments, but currently it's just that extra long, creepy arm to slap things with at a distance. Cool design all the same. Nice animation, and the concept I like. Now, if you happen to find some smithing templates, take your iron sword and you take some Shadow Fiber, you can make the Sacrificial Dagger, which is a fast weapon, but hits pretty low on damage. But the main thing with it is you combine it with these bewitching orbs you find in various different dungeons. You get them all together, and you get the Bewitched Sacrificial Dagger, which then has special effects depending on which orb you put on it. First one gives a rare chance to web an enemy. So I'm not exactly certain how rare is, but I'm going to reckon it's probably 1 in 10 attacks will be the rare. That seems like a good number. So maybe it's only 1 in 5 or 1 in 6, but see, it briefly dropped a web on him. Our next one is damage dealt is chained to your nearby mobs. I think this is a very cool one. Now, in a case like this, Sweeping Edge would normally have a bit of trouble clearing out the whole thing. As we can see, that's 1 hit, and it goes to every single cow in the chain. And so, after 10 hits, we'll basically kill the entire herd. So quite a bit faster at killing off the empty-crammed herd than normal. Unfortunately, this can't be enchanted at all once it's bewitched, but that's still a very cool effect of that chain. I really like that. That's a very creative idea. Our next one is leeching. This is for those of you who don't have all your health. It has a chance to leech. Now, I bet in the future what would be cool is combining orbs to get rid of that small chance into a larger chance. That'd be a cool idea. Sort of mix and match, a bit like the gems from Diablo. Who knows what direction they'll go with it, but I think that might be the direction I would take. Again, just having a rare magical effect though from your dagger is also just cool. It doesn't have to be all the time, and it's just an alternative weapon. Bewitching Sacrificial Dagger is enemies with low health will take fatal damage. So it's probably based on a percentile. It might be based on a threshold. I'm not exactly certain. But basically, if your health is low enough, this dagger will kill you. So basically, the higher health you are, the better this is. It's basically execution. So good against bosses. So as we see there, it did a chunk of damage, didn't immediately kill it. Which it describes as mobs on low health can be killed instantly. I think as mobs on low health will be killed instantly. Basically, if a mob has, I don't know, like 10%, 20% of his health left, even 15 or 7, it will deal a million billion damage or just apply a death effect. Could be hard to code. We've got Tumbling, which has mobs can tumble and deal damage. There's a chance that it lobs the thing at a distance. I guess whatever gets lobbed through also takes damage with the tumble. And then we have Spontaneous Combustion, which is there's a chance it will light the creature on fire. Now one of these bewitching orbs can also be found called the Fate Bewitching Orb, and this one instead combines with the Gloomy Hood to make the Bewitched Gloomy Hood, which has got that little eyeball on it. And that looks far more snazzy on us. This changes the power so that it highlights mobs when bug vibration is used, and mobs become temporarily passive when bug vibration is used, and the cooldown is twice as long. We can give it a test. There we go. Highlights in red, and they are passive to us for a short while. And finally we have a cool item, which is a Holden inventory item. I always like Holden inventory items. It's made with the Soul Bewitchment Orb Fragments and Shadow Fiber. This gives you the Soul Bewitchment Orb, which is when it's in your inventory, become invisible in the dark and become faster in the dark. Unable to swim underwater, moonlight still counts as light. We have this in our inventory, and we're not invisible, because there's a moon out there. We cannot swim. Doesn't make us sink though, it just makes it so we cannot swim. Pressing Control and double tap cannot sprint, so we can't go fast underwater. However, if we enter into some gloomy caves, we become invisible, and we get these little effects on us. Vision goes red, you get the Possessed effect, you get Speed 2, and you get invisibility. So in true darkness, which really only seems to happen inside a building, it does make you invisible, or underground, such in one of these really big cave systems. Invisibility, kind of a notoriously useless effect. However, this one gives you unique sparkles and gives you a slight hazy outline as well. Fortunately, the gear you're wearing does still show up, although maybe that's not unfortunate because you've got this weird, creepy beholder head floating here. Who can say? Now, there's a few extras as well. We can find some of these potions. We've got the Cursed Potion and the Cursed Potion, and of course these smithing tablets. Only used so far as a Sacrificial Dagger, but maybe we'll have more uses later. And their animation's fun. So, let's look at these potions, shall we? So, one of the Cursed Potions, this one, gives you the Temporality, which gives you temporary immortality. Quite literally, do not take damage. Seems as the mobs aren't even trying to fight me, because I'm temporarily immortal, but no source of damage can harm you while you have the status effect on you. However, at the end of the time, you will die. But this can be avoided with the Totem of the Undying, which makes a very cool situation where you can delay the immortality offered by the Totem of the Undying by basically using and abusing this temporal immortality to become invincible for a short while. The other Cursed Potion, the fat one, gives you the status effect Cursed. Now, I'm not exactly certain what this does, and there's no rundown currently of what it does. Not on the mod page, nor in our interestingly formatted guide, but apparently Cursed is an effect. Can be cleared by milk, the other one cannot. Now there are a few blocks that are added as well. We'll just look at the main interesting one, which is if you tie together some sticks with some string, you can get this wooden pole. Do a little dancing on that. And if you have 4 of them with a few wood on top, you can get a wooden platform. Now, the horse has the right idea. And you got this little wooden platform. They're all quite decorative. And there's a few flags added as well. Very simple and very nice. And you can make some nice decorations with some of the blocks here. Stone as well. Shade stone, crafted from the shade bricks, crafted from twisted fiber mixed with normal bricks. You can make some dark colored bricks. And you can make yourself some nice setups. Now, there are 4 music discs to be found. All of them, no doubt, are copyright music, of course. So, we're going to have to change out the music to something else. But we can get groovy on the dance floor with them. So, our first song is Listened Nightmare Eclipse. Our second song is Rewinded. Our next song is Rewind. Most of these songs have some sort of audio fray or static and something a little off-putting to them. Oh, they're alright. Cool looking too. Altitude. Using some space drums. I have a song with space drums I believe I can use. Goes into some snare drum. Actually might be electric xylophone. Might not be space drums. Pretty normal song, really. And then we've got Horological. Horological. I don't think that's a real word. Again, a listened nightmare. You know what? Might actually be able to use this music as the mod is made by Listened Nightmare. So if this is Listened Nightmare's music, I might be able to use it. But with that said, what do I think of this mod? It's cool. Conceptually, very cool. It's got some interesting little things going on with it. It's got a lot of pretty blocks in it. You can do some cool things. I like the color palette. Black and red and eyeballs are always welcome. Got some creepy demons. Can't wait to see them get a little fleshed out. More than just tough enemies that walk fast. Maybe give them a few little abilities here and there. Could be cool. Really like the bed bug. That's one of the most interesting enemies I've ever encountered in a Minecraft mod. It's very cool. Just disruptive disorganization is always fun. Something different. Items are cool too. I'd like to have their powers be amped a little bit so you can use them more often. It doesn't have to be 100%, but more than the 10% or 12% or whatever it is. That could be fun. And yeah, besides that, I think it's going to be an interesting mod when it's done. Last updated about 2-ish months ago. So it is being worked on. So we'll see maybe what Beta 4 has in store for us, or Alpha 4. And until then, we'll keep an eye on this mod if it interests you. If not, find some other mod. As for me, and for you, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, and as always, goodbye.